Be prepared. This video contains information that could unlock mental capabilities you never knew you possessed. The hidden code we will unveil today has been used by the great minds of history to achieve extraordinary mental clarity. And now, it's your turn. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to walk through life as if an invisible force is opening doors before them, while others, no matter how hard they try, seem stuck in a cycle of repetition, limitations, and doubt? Could there truly be a secret key, concealed within the pages of the Bible, capable of reprogramming your mind in minutes and leading you to a life of fulfillment, abundance, and miracles? Imagine for a moment that the words you read are not merely words, but vibrational codes, frequencies that act as direct commands to your subconscious. What would happen if each phrase could ignite a flame in your consciousness, dissolve blocks that have been rooted for years, and unleash a new version of yourself, ready to manifest what you most desire? It sounds bold, I know. But what if I told you that this code has always been right in front of you, just waiting for your eyes to open? The great secret, often overlooked, is that the scriptures were not written merely to tell stories or record past events. They hide a system, a divine mechanism for activating the mind. It's as if the Bible were an encrypted manual, and by deciphering its symbols, you access the power that Emmett Fox called the scientific key to prayer. And this key is not limited to religion. It transcends beliefs and reaches the most intimate core of a human being, your capacity to create reality from your mind. And here is something few dare to reveal. Every sacred word acts as a code, a spiritual trigger that can alter the very structure of your thoughts. When you understand this, you realize that poverty, illness, fear, and limitations are nothing more than mental programs running in the background. And programs can be rewritten. Have you ever wondered how many times your life seems to repeat family patterns, as if an invisible inheritance is always dictating the same plot? Well, this hidden code has the power to break those chains and plant a new seed in the soil of your mind. As we move forward, I will show you how to apply these teachings in a practical way, so simple that you will feel the change almost immediately. We are not talking about distant theories, but about knowledge that can transform your life today. However, I want you to understand, the final revelation, the one we've saved for the end of this video, is the most powerful of all. It is the turning point, the key that many search for a lifetime and rarely find. So, if you feel something inside you calling for a change, if you carry in your heart the desire to access a higher level of consciousness, to break cycles, and to attract what seemed impossible, stay until the very last second. Every word of this video has been designed to guide you step by step on this journey, and the final revelation has the potential to completely redefine the way you see reality. As we walk this path, allow yourself to dive in with body and soul. Open yourself to the unexpected, to the unusual, because that is precisely where the extraordinary manifests. You will realize that you are not here by chance. Something greater is guiding you to this message, and to ignore that call would be like closing your eyes to a door open to freedom. And before we proceed, I want to ask you for something very simple. If this topic has already touched you in some way, if you felt a spark of hope or curiosity, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This gesture is small, but it helps this message reach others who, just like you, also need this transformation. Furthermore, if you wish to take a deeper step on this journey and access special content that can accelerate your manifestation even more, check the link in the first pinned comment. It's something direct, practical, and made for those who are truly ready to live the power that is already within them. Now, take a deep breath and come with me, because the hidden code of the Bible that reprograms your mind in minutes is about to be revealed. What you are about to discover could be the watershed between the life you have today and the extraordinary life that is already waiting for you. Since the dawn of humanity, human beings have sought to understand the invisible force that governs the universe. Some call it God, others energy, others cosmic consciousness. The name matters less than the essence. There is a higher intelligence that responds to the frequency of our thoughts. The Bible, when read literally, seems like just a collection of ancient stories. But when you learn to decipher the hidden code behind its words, you realize it is, in fact, a map to access the creative power that already dwells within you. Emmett Fox, one of the greatest masters of Christian metaphysics, showed us something profound. Prayer, when done correctly, is not just a request directed to a distant deity. It is a direct reprogramming of the mind, an alignment of thought, emotion, and belief that activates universal laws and shapes reality. Fox said that the mind is like fertile soil. If you plant seeds of fear, scarcity, and doubt, that soil responds by producing fruits of pain, lack, and limitations. But if you plant thoughts of faith, confidence, gratitude, and abundance, the same soil begins to blossom with miracles. The Bible contains, in a veiled way, this very mechanism of planting and harvesting. Think of Jesus' words, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." This is not just an inspiring phrase, it is a code. What he meant is that by accessing the inner truth, the knowledge that the kingdom of God is within you, you break the shackles of a mind programmed by centuries of conditioning. You don't need to beg for miracles because you are already the source. The mind, when aligned with the truth, becomes creative. But here's the crucial point. Most people repeat verses without understanding that they function as vibrational commands. Imagine that each word is like a secret password to a safe. If you just read the password aloud but don't type it in correctly, the safe won't open. The same is true of the scriptures. When you understand the state of consciousness you must be in when you pronounce them, the hidden energy within them awakens and begins to transform your life in real time. This hidden code is like a spiritual programming language. It speaks directly to the subconscious, the very place where all the beliefs that define your life are stored. That's where the fears inherited from your family, the ideas of limitation you absorbed since childhood, and the voices that repeat that you can't, don't deserve, or won't succeed are located. The subconscious is powerful, but it is malleable. And that is precisely why the Bible gives us clear instructions to meditate on the word day and night. Because repetition infused with emotion is the key to replacing old programs with new ones. Have you ever noticed how some biblical phrases, when read with attention, seem to vibrate within you? That's because they were written to resonate like mantras, capable of penetrating beyond the rational mind and planting a new reality inside of you. And this is where a powerful teaching from Emmett Fox comes in. When you pray scientifically, that is, by visualizing and feeling as if the result were already accomplished, you create a magnetic field so intense that the universe has no choice but to respond. Now imagine applying this principle in your life today. Imagine taking a simple verse like "all things are possible to him who believes" and repeating it not as a loose phrase, but as a truth already manifest. Imagine closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and feeling in every cell of your body that what seemed impossible is already happening. What do you think your mind would do with that information? It would begin to align thoughts, emotions, and behaviors with this new belief. And as an inevitable reflection, the world around you would begin to mold itself according to this code. But there's something even more intriguing. When you access this code, you discover you are not alone. There is an invisible network of energy supporting your thoughts. Every time you affirm a spiritual truth, you activate this network, which connects past, present, and future in a single flow. It's as if time bends in your favor. What would have taken years to happen begins to approach rapidly because your mind ceases to be a field of chaos and becomes a field of divine order. And I know what you might be thinking right now. If this is so powerful, why has no one ever taught me this before? The answer is simple and painful, because the human mind has been conditioned to seek answers outside, to believe that power is always distant, in leaders, in institutions, in something beyond itself. But the real secret has always been within you. That is why Jesus repeated so many times, "The kingdom of God is within you." He wasn't speaking metaphorically. He was stating a spiritual and psychological fact. And here comes the part that may stir you deeply. Many of your limitations are not yours. They were inherited. Perhaps you grew up hearing phrases like, "Money doesn't grow on trees," "Life is hard," "Happiness isn't for everyone." These words, spoken by loved ones, acted as negative codes that were installed in your mind. And without realizing it, you began to manifest the very thing you rejected. But the good news is that codes can be replaced. When you start meditating on verses of power, when you consciously choose which words you want to engrave in your mind, you begin to write a new story. You stop living trapped in the repetition of inherited pains and start creating a future of abundance and fulfillment. It's like changing the soundtrack of a movie. The scene may be the same, but the music completely alters the emotion and the outcome. And for this transformation to be real, it takes more than just listening or repeating mechanically. It is necessary to feel. It is necessary to unite emotion with the word. If you declare, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," and at the same time feel fear, doubt, and scarcity, the code is not activated. But if you declare it and feel, even for a few seconds, the fullness of already having everything you need, your mind begins to reprogram itself immediately. That's why Emmett Fox insisted that prayer should be done as if the desire were already fulfilled, because it is in the present that the mind transforms, not in the distant future. Do you see how it all connects? The Bible, Emmett Fox, the law of attraction, they all point to the same place, the power of the mind in tune with spiritual truth. This isn't about magic formulas, but a science of the soul, which follows laws as exact as gravity. If you throw a stone up, it falls. If you cultivate thoughts of love, abundance, and faith, your life will inevitably flourish. And here, as you absorb these words, I want to invite you to try something simple. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and repeat mentally, "I am one with the infinite source of abundance. Everything I need has already been given to me." Feel these words as if they were true right now. Imagine your life transforming before you, doors opening, solutions appearing, the right people crossing your path. Do you notice how your mind is already starting to react? That is the code in action. And if you wish to dive even deeper into this process and accelerate your manifestation, remember to check the link in the first pinned comment. There you will find content that can expand your understanding even further and put in your hands a daily practice capable of transforming not just your thoughts, but your entire reality. But don't stop here. Stay with me, because the most powerful revelation is still to come. What you will discover at the end of this video may not only change the way you think, but completely redefine who you believe you are. We have arrived at the moment I promised you from the beginning. Perhaps throughout this journey you have felt something stirring within you, as if a flame were beginning to awaken in your core. And now it is here, in this instant, that the veil is finally torn, and what seemed hidden becomes as clear as daylight. The Bible code that reprograms your mind in minutes is not a formula hidden in complicated words, nor a secret reserved only for a select few. It has always been before you, waiting for you to open your heart to see it. And the most powerful revelation is this: your mind is the Ark of the Covenant itself. Within it is stored the creative power that moves the entire universe. Every thought, every emotion, every belief is a seed cast into the infinite field of creation. What you call prayer is nothing more than the act of activating this power, directing it toward a specific goal. The Bible, in its symbolic wisdom, has always pointed to this truth. When it says, "Be it done unto you according to your faith," it is saying, in other words, the reality you experience is merely a reflection of what you have already accepted as truth within yourself. This is the hidden code. It's not just about reading verses, but feeling them until every cell in your body believes them. It's not about asking, it's about affirming. It's not about waiting, it's about living as if it already were. When you understand this, you discover that the distance between who you are and who you wish to be dissolves. You stop living like a spiritual beggar, pleading for scraps of blessings, and start living as a conscious co-creator who understands they already possess all the keys. Think about what this means for your practical life. The anxiety that so often paralyzes you begins to lose its power because you understand that you don't have to chase after what you desire. What you desire is already in motion toward you from the instant your mind aligned with faith. The pain of scarcity, which may have accompanied your family for generations, begins to dissipate because the code breaks these cycles and plants a new reality. The fear of the future ceases to be a ghost because you recognize that the future is not out there, waiting to surprise you. It is being shaped now inside of you. And here is the detail that often goes unnoticed. It is not the size of your faith that moves mountains, but its purity. When you declare a biblical word without doubt, without fear, without hesitation, even for a few seconds, the vibration generated is enough to initiate immense transformations. It's like a spark capable of setting an entire forest on fire. This is why so many miracles reported in the scriptures happened instantaneously. The mind, when perfectly aligned with the truth, does not need time to manifest. It simply manifests. So now I invite you to reflect. What programming do you wish to engrave upon your mind today? Which code will you choose to repeat until it becomes flesh in your life? Remember, it is not something external, not something distant. It is something that already exists within you. You are the living temple of creation, and when you decide to assume this truth, life begins to respond in surprising ways. Do not ignore the signs you are already receiving. Perhaps people have started to appear in your path, bringing messages you needed to hear. Perhaps opportunities have presented themselves and you hesitated out of fear. Perhaps even this video is a call, a reminder that it is time to break the cycle and claim the life you were born to live. The code is alive, pulsing, waiting for you to activate it. And if this content has made sense to you so far, if it has touched your mind and your heart, I ask you now, leave your like and subscribe to the channel. This simple gesture helps this message reach other people who, like you, are in search of liberation, clarity, and abundance. Every click is a way of spreading light. And if you wish to deepen this process even further and discover specific practices to accelerate your manifestation, be sure to access the link in the first pinned comment. There you will find something that could become a turning point in your journey, as it has been for many who have already taken this step. Always remember, you are not bound by the limitations of the past. It doesn't matter how many times you have been failed, how many doors have closed, or how many no's you have received. The truth is that today you can rewrite your story. The hidden code of the Bible is not a vague promise, it is a living law. And this law always responds without exception to the vibration of your mind and the certainty of your heart. From now on, you have a choice: to continue living under the old programs that bind you, or to activate this code and allow your life to be transformed from the inside out. The decision is yours and yours alone. But know this: when you choose the truth, the entire universe conspires in your favor. And with that certainty, I close this journey by reminding you of the greatest revelation of all. You already are, here and now, the living expression of the divine. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop someone who understands and activates this power. Now, choose wisely, declare with faith, live as if it already were, and watch the miracle happen. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me, because there is still much more to be revealed. The best is just beginning.